Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be joining us from. I am HR Funk, your host, and this is the Dark and Stormy live stream, so named because there's a storm brewing outside. In fact, it's been brewing for most of the afternoon, and I'm not sure that it's here yet, but before we're all said and done here tonight, you might see some lightning flashing in the window behind me, or maybe even hear some thunder outside. There's a few people that I've already been conversing with in the live chat over here. We've got John Lee is here with us. Hi, John. TG is here. Chris Peterson, thanks for joining, Chris. And looks like that's everyone we see so far. As usual, I am not going to be subscribing to or beholden to any agenda this afternoon or this evening. This is going to be a strictly everything goes live stream. So if you've got questions, comments, anything to do with the videos that I've produced recently, anything to do with current events, or anything else you just want to show in, feel free to chime in and we'll go from there. And let's see, we've got TG says, okay, talking about some whiskey. Chris Peterson says, love M14s too, but beer will do for me. Good for you, Chris. John Lee loves the M14. A lot of people are making a reference to my t-shirt here, which comes to me from my t-shirt person, Nathan. He made this shirt for me. It's pretty cool, I think. So I wore this in honor of him this evening. John Lee is chiming in from North Carolina. Shane A. Baker is here. He says, howdy, Mr. Funk. Howdy to you, Shane. Hot 8 is here, and he says, we're off. Yes, we are. Todd Gillison, good evening to you. And Art Grote is here. So already the number of people are climbing as far as the people that are participating in the live stream this evening. If you missed what I said a little while ago, this is the Dark and Stormy live stream because there's a storm brewing outside. Ken Kaufman is here, and Art Grote. Christopher Mead, good evening to you. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or other things for the good of the order, feel free to throw those in. A lot of things have been going on here lately at the channel. I don't know how many of you saw the video from today where I had the, oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it, the virtual shot shooting system. For whatever reason, that's gotten very few views, which is too bad because I think it's a pretty good video. But that's kind of the way my life has been going here lately. My last video, which I think is one of the best ones that I've ever produced, where I was comparing the braced pistol with the standard pistol. And that one was, of course, demonetized by YouTube, which even though YouTube denies this, it gets very few views when they demonetize it because they just don't promote the video. And that's too bad. If you haven't seen that video, go back and take a look at it. Like I said, I think it's really one of the best ones I've ever produced in terms of the recording and the editing and just overall video product. So again, if you have not seen that one with the brace pistol versus the standard pistol, go back and take a look at it and see what you think. And as always, be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section. Camp David is here. Good to see you. And let's see. Stephen Simpson says, hello from San Antonio, Texas. Hello to you, Stephen. Great town you have there. Been a long time since I was in San Antonio. I really love the city. One of these days, I'm going to get back there. Chase Kelly says, hi, hope all is well. All is well. Bob checking in from South Dakota. Thanks for joining in, Bob. And my wife and daughter did make it back safe and sound from your lovely state. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it out there with them this year. And I wish I could because I really like particularly Western South Dakota. Oscar Puente is here. Hello, Oscar. Kenneth Garrett, a.k.a. Hillbilly Jack. Good to see you. Tom White is here. Shane A. Baker says, I thought I had a ball icon. Wait a second. Oh, I thought I had the bell icon active, but I guess it didn't. Now that's corrected. Good. I'm glad you got that taken care of. And that, for whatever reason, I've had more people contact me recently and tell me that even though they've got all the notifications on the bell icon and all that, they are still not getting the announcements for videos and live streams and whatever. If you're one of the regular viewers to the channel, you know that I typically release videos on Saturday mornings and Wednesday mornings. So if a Saturday morning or a Wednesday morning goes by and you haven't seen anything, check the channel and see, because you might have just not gotten a announcement of that. There is the occasional Wednesday or Saturday that I don't get anything loaded. So if you don't get an announcement, there might have not been anything that day, but chances are there will be. So just double check and make sure you didn't miss something that for whatever reason YouTube didn't send you the notice on. And going down through the comments here, TG, any recent competitions with your super match rifle? No. I've had so much going on this year so far. This summer, my daughter graduated from high school, and we had her graduation party, and we did a trip. Some of you know the trip to Mexico, and got back here, and with work and some of the other things, I have not had a chance to make it to a rifle match this year. So it's just been that kind of a summer for me so far. I'm hoping the second half of the summer things start to slow down a little bit, and I can make some matches and get out and do some more, a little bit more shooting. So keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully I'll make it out there. We are coming up on the national matches up at Camp Perry, and unfortunately I don't think I'm going to make it up there this year, but those are going on. If you have the opportunity to go there, I cannot emphasize enough how great it is to be able to attend the national matches and see everything that goes on there. So again, if you have the chance, go ahead and be sure to get there. Chris Peterson, I'm sure I speak for Reverend Boyer, asking for another 1911 video. Yes, I'm sure you speak for him too. And I'm sure there will be another 1911 video. And I lost you all there for a second. I'm sure there'll be another 1911 video forthcoming. So I will be sure to accommodate Reverend Boyer and everyone else who's looking for that 1911 video. Shane Baker says I'll have to watch this Saturday's video while on lunch break at drill or after we get released. Yes, and I have a pretty good video coming up on Saturday. I think it's one that's going to be of interest to a lot of you. Taking a look at a classic pistol. So definitely try to get in there and take a look at Saturday's video. And Chris S. 1911 is here. Kenneth Garrett would like to talk about Hawk and Flintlock. Is your email the same? Yes, my email is the same. So if you have that already, feel free to send me an email, and I will definitely get it. Do you plan on commenting on the Indiana mall shooting? What little I know of it, first off, I think it's tremendous. Finally, there was an armed good guy present at one of those situations that managed to stop it before it got too far out of hand. Unfortunately, there were still some people killed, which is horrific, but at least it was not any worse than that. And that's tremendous. It sounds like, too, the distances at which he engaged that bad guy were pretty long, something on the order of 25 to 40 yards is what I'm hearing. So good shooting to him. Of course, we got some of the usual suspects that are criticizing him and complaining and whatever. Those people we just kind of have to ignore. But again, it sounds like he did a great job. And like I said, finally, we had somebody that was present that could take some action and prevent that situation from getting worse than it ever did. And going down through here again, Joe Morgan, love how the media is shocked by the Samaritan that dared to defy the magic sign. Yeah. And as I understand it, and I am no expert on Indiana law, but it sounds like those signs are not really enforceable, or doesn't sound like it's a tremendous bad thing if he walked past one of those signs. So again, he's being hailed as a hero. It sounds like the police out there aren't at all concerned that he was there with a firearm. So that's all turning out to be very good. Michael Davis, HR, do you still have the CZ75? And do you still like owning it after a while? Thinking about getting one? Yes, I do. In fact, in the safe right here beside me, I very much like the CZ75. I love the grip contour. It fits my hand tremendously well. And the factory rubber grip just feels good. It gives you a really solid grasp on the pistol, and I can't really say enough good things about that pistol. So if you're thinking about getting one and you do ultimately end up purchasing one, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Kenneth Garrett, 8 of 10 shots at 40 yards is a fine shoot. Absolutely, it is. Tremendous shooting under stress in that kind of situation. Absolutely phenomenal. So good for him. Chris Peterson will be a future NRA spokesperson, probably. Shane Baker, my battle buddy, wants to try that same type of thing with our carry non-firing replicas and have my CCW for a few. And yes, and I do have a non-firing replica off to the side here, so I'll be revealing that in due time during the live stream this afternoon or this evening. Matt Moore says, HR Funk, how are you? Tomorrow I pick up my FFL, or pick up from my FFL, a Colt Anaconda 8-inch, never shot a 44 mag before. Any tips? Get a good strong grip and enjoy yourself. I really am a big fan of the 44 Magnum cartridge. It generates greater recoil than a lot of other firearms, but I really don't think it's unmanageable, especially in something as large and heavy as the Colt Anaconda. So I think you're in for a really good shooting experience. Rich Powers finally made it. Thanks, Rich. Glad you made it here. And we're just getting started, so you didn't miss much. Ham is here. TG says, hold on tight, Matt. Ken Kaufman says, hope it's a 45 or the best millimeter. Also, before we get too far up in the chats over here, I'll throw out my normal advisory, I guess, where when these things really start rolling, I cannot keep up with every single comment on there. I've tried before in past live streams, and I just can't do it. So if you have something that you put on there and I don't respond to it, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not upset with you or anything else. It's just really hard to keep track of all those. So I'll apologize now if I miss a comment or a question or what have you. If it's something you really want to get on there, you might have to put it on a couple of times, and hopefully I'll see it eventually as it goes up my screen and I can respond to it. And where are we here? Nathan Huxtable is here. How you doing, Nate? Says, hey, HR, do you have a 44 lever gun? Yes, I do. I have a Marlin 1894 SS, which is a tremendous lever gun. It's a 20-inch barrel, stainless steel. I really enjoy that particular lever gun. And it's one of those, pistol caliber carbines have become very popular here of late, but something like the traditional lever guns chambered for the 40 or for the traditional handgun cartridges have been around for a long, long time, and they are just tremendous examples of that particular genre. And I like the fact that you can pair them with the handgun that you're carrying. It makes as much sense now as it did back in the late 1800s when that concept originally came around, and I just can't say enough good things about them. Jeff Beeson says, howdy from my new home in the Villages in Florida. Well, thanks for joining, Jeff. I'm glad you made it here. And it looks like things are slowing down a little bit over here in the live chat, so I'll try to jump in with a few other things here. And for whatever reason, I've got messages flashing up on my phone over here. Let me just double check this, see if this is anybody. I don't know. Sometimes we'll get people that chime in. And no, this is coming from my lovely wife, so I'll have to respond to that later. But let's see, what do we got back here? Travis Chapin is here. How you doing, Travis? And Scott Person says, just inherited a Remington 141 in 35 Remington. Anyone familiar with this pump action rifle? Vaguely, but I really am a big fan of the 35 Remington cartridge. So I think if you pair it with that particular pump action rifle, you're going to have a very good pair there. Pump actions, I really think, are a little bit faster to cycle than the traditional lever actions. And for whatever reason, they've never really caught on too much. Even so, I think it makes a great cartridge and firearm combination. So I think you have a really good winning pair there. Hope it's not an emergency call from the PD. Nope, no emergencies. Just my wife. Looks like she is maybe buying a dress or a shirt. I'm not sure what she's looking at there, but she sent me a picture of something. I'll have to respond to that before too long. And let's see, just looking down through here. Nathan Huxtable is responding to Jeff. Talking about Don Garlitz. There's a name from the past. Travis Chapin says pump actions are popular in Pennsylvania. Shane Baker, have you seen the movie Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell? Really weird, but well done. I saw that, and you're right. I had a hard time getting past the weird aspect of that. I remember watching it, and when it was over, thinking that was just strange. I mean, for a Western, and I like Westerns, but that was just one that was kind of out there. I don't really think I could say that I liked it. I watched it. I don't know. I thought that was a very strange movie. CJ is here. Hello to you. And what are we up to now? We got 54 people in here, so that's good. Starting to lose my voice already. So get a little sip of coffee to hopefully help lubricate everything there, keep my voice going. D Life is here, says, I'm sorry I'm late. No problem. Daryl Walton, hey from Idaho. Thanks for joining, Daryl. Sweating to the oldies here. Loading for hunting season. Well, it's a good time to get ready for it. Michael Chiapetta. Yeah, it looks like Chiapetta. You've done favorite movies. How about favorite TV series? Yeah, I've had other people ask me about that. And my problem with TV shows is there are so many TV shows going all the way back to the time that I was a kid up till now. Trying to nail those down and come up with, favorite series and favorite scenes and favorite firearms and all that is kind of overwhelming. I just don't know if I could do it because there have been so many of them over the years. Jeff Beeson saw the new Top Gun movie and really enjoyed it. Yeah, good. My wife and daughter saw that. They said that, oh, I'm sorry. No, they did not see that. They saw the new Jurassic Park movie. But everything I hear about the new Top Gun movie is very good. So I'm going to have to see that sooner or later myself. Shane Baker, I see it as a psychological horror movie. Plays into the deeper fears of humanity. One of my favorite movies to talk to my friends about. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you liked it. Chris Peterson likes Highway Patrol and Dragnet. Two good ones. Matt Moore ordered a cartridge belt with a big buckle to go with my new revolver. Good. Too much? No, not at all. John Lee, I like the Rifleman, SWAT, and the unit. D-Life like Boondock Saints and Twin 92s. Captain Trunk Tracker, enjoy your videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Everybody's chiming in with their favorite TV shows now while I sit here and lose my voice, and I'm not sure why that's happening. Like I should have maybe grabbed something more to drink than I did. Scott Person, good guy in a gun, came through in Indiana this week. Yes, absolutely. Nate Huxtable, cartridge belt, isn't that what YouTube thinks is a belt pit? Yes. Apparently they do, and that's obnoxious. Andrew Peterman, I just watched a Columbo episode a week or so ago. It was on one of the classic TV channels, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I forgot how much I liked that series. Shane Baker, I think my current favorite has to be The Terminal List because enjoyed the book so much. Good. Kip Caniper, you're better than regular TV. Glad that you have one. Good. Thank you, Kip. I appreciate that. D Life, sharks found in New York. That's crazy. He just wished another. You know what though? Every year when it gets close to time for Shark Week on TV, all of a sudden the number of shark sightings goes up and up and up. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think there's some design there and something to that, trying to promote that series because, like I said, every single year we see that. Plowboy Ghost says Northwest Alabama checking in. Thank you for joining. Where it's 98 degrees. Oh my. And 223% humidity. And that's one thing. If it doesn't storm tonight, which I think it's going to, but if it doesn't, I'm going to go out and jump in my pool a little bit later, which I enjoy doing in the evening. It's always nice to just cool off. The water is still warm. It's just very refreshing. I like doing that at night. Chris S. 1911 just picked up a Remington 798 and 375 Holland and Holland. Wow. So you're going on safari, Chris? John Lee, the Rebel, and Brandon. All right. The Rock is running Shark Week. I didn't know that. I might have to tune in and see. John Lee, The Guns of Will Sonnet. Great old show. I remember watching that when I was a kid. Cool show. D Life, 88 degrees there. Okay. Ooh, 108 degrees in Dallas today. Wow. That's rough. It was supposed to get up to about 90 here today. I don't think it ever made it. It was actually pretty nice outside. There was good breeze blowing all day. I went out and mowed my yard earlier this morning, and really it wasn't too uncomfortable. So we didn't have it too bad today. It definitely was not 108 here. Good. Chris is hopefully going to Africa. So good for you. Nathan Huxtable, hottest place you've ever been? I'm going to say Paris Island because I know there were days that it got up well over 100 when I was down there. I know when I was in San Antonio, it got pretty warm there too a couple of times. So I think mostly I'm going to say Paris Island for the hottest place I've ever been. HR, do you wear your glasses when you're working? No, I really only wear these things for reading and when I'm trying to watch, what everyone's saying over here on the side of the screen. I've got these on to sharpen that up, but typically I don't wear them when I'm just doing whatever I'm doing throughout the day. Joe Morgan, it's been over 100 degrees there in Idaho. Wow. Bass Reeves, hey, HR Funk, how are you? Very well, thank you. Hope you're doing well also. New order, shooting my 500 Magnum for the first time tomorrow, 8 3/8" barrel. Let's see if my wrists hold up. I hope they do. I've never shot a 500, so I hope you enjoy it. I hope it works well for you. I was talking a little while ago about the 44 Magnum. That's always kind of been the top end for handgun cartridges for me, and there's really never been anything that I can ask of a handgun the 44 has not been able to do. But I hope the 500 works out well for you, and like I said, I hope you have a lot of fun shooting it. D-Life, heat makes me lazy. Yeah, heat makes me lazy. Sunshine makes me lazy. Cool air makes me lazy. Lots of things make me lazy. Jeff Besom had to move from Texas to Florida to get in order to cool off. Daryl Walton, just got my Mark X Whitworth 375 back, starting on stock. Timing is perfect. Had shoulder surgery 10 days ago. Well, and I hope your shoulder is doing well, Daryl. Matt Moore, tell us a cool law enforcement story. Oh, you know what? I got a story. This is not a law enforcement story, but I got to tell you guys this. I've been meaning to tell this story on a live stream for a long time because I think it's absolutely hilarious. So there's a gentleman, if you saw my video that I did a couple of weeks ago on the Zeta 6 speed loaders, the gentleman who sent me those his last name, I think it's pronounced Kokel or Kochel, but it looks like Kachel, Kachel. I think is the way his last name is spelled. And he sent me those things. He had a bunch of the Zeta 6 speed loaders. He sent them to me in a box. So they came and he just wrote his last name, Kachel, on the box along with his address. And my wife gets the mail when that box arrived, and she comes in the house and she's holding that box and she goes, "Who the hell is Rachel and why is she sending you a package?" And I said, "Well, she's my girlfriend, of course, or at least one of them, and she's sending me a package because she's hoping to get a package," which I thought was tremendously hysterical. My wife did not quite see the humor in that. But I got the box from her. And I said, "That doesn't say Rachel, it says Cashel," which again was a mispronunciation of his name, but that's what it said. He just, the way it was written, the K kind of blurred together. It looked like Rachel. And I just thought the whole thing was very, very funny. In fact, I meant to have that box here so I could show it to you. So now I've had this running joke with my wife about, I got to go pick up Rachel and Rachel's waiting for me and all that kind of thing. But I thought that was great. And I told her later, I said, "What you said was, who the hell is Rachel? What I heard in my mind was, what are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?" That was funny, though. Now I got to go back over here and see what everybody's talking about. Rabbi must be here. Rabbi, how you doing? Hope the new assignment that you have is going well. ZP says, "Hello, hope you're all beating the heat. I hope you're all are too. In the 90s in Chicago today, so warm there." A lot of people like this story. Rachel says hi. Mr. Funk, your opinion on the new Browning A5 or Benelli Super Black Eagle? I'm sorry, I have no experience or knowledge of either one of them, so I'll apologize for that now. I really can't give you any information on it because I just don't have any. Chris Peterson used the vet for that. Khakis. Yes. Will I noticed the weapon used in the mall shooting was referred to as an AR and not an assault weapon by media reports. Wonder if that was purposely done. I don't know. The killer in the Independence Day shooting, they kept referring to that as an AR type firearm or AR like or something like that. And the last I heard, that turned out to be, I think, a Keltec Sub 2000 or something like that. So who knows what the media means when they say AR. ZP HR Funk, know you had a career in law enforcement, but when I found your channel, I first learned your military service in the Corps. Just mentioned basic. Do you have any fond memories? I have a lot of fond memories when I was in the Marine Corps. Wow, trying to pick one off the top of my head. I was an MP in the Marine Corps. I knew a lot of great other Marines that were, tremendous to work with. Wow, trying to come up with a memory from those times. And of course, now my mind just goes blank. So I tell you what, I'm going to have to think about that for a while and try to get back to you with a memory from when I was in the Marine Corps. So I apologize for that. IV Mac 57, greetings from Vegas. Greetings to you. It's 78 in my pool. Seriously, when are they going to make a 46? Somebody probably already has. Scott Person, anyone know where I can get a left-handed lever gun? Wait a second. Where they do not mark up the gun because it's left-handed. I'm trying to think of a left-handed lever gun, and I can't think of one right off the top of my head. The Winchesters have a top eject, so they would be more or less ambidextrous. But as far as one truly set up for a left-handy or a lefty, I can't think of one. Uh, Wade Grant, 5811. Where? Well, let's see. I started out, I was a little over 2 years at Marine Corps Air Station Cherry. At Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point. I left there and I went to Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni, Japan. I was there for just about long enough to get off the plane, and they sent me to Yecheon, Korea. I was in Korea living in a tent for about 6 months, and then I left Korea and went back to Japan, spent another 6 months there. I got out of the Marine Corps and was out for almost 2 full years, and then I got recalled for Operation Desert Storm in 1991. So I went back down to Marine Corps Air Station, New River, North Carolina during Desert Storm, and basically replaced Marines that had been sent overseas, and that's where I sat for the duration of Desert Storm. So I don't have any heroic stories or tales or anything else to tell about my time during Operation Desert Storm, but I am a Desert Storm veteran for whatever that might mean. That's basically where I was. A few other deployments. I was at cold weather training up in Wisconsin for a while. Of course, military police training was at Lackland Air Force Base in those days, so I was down there for a while. A couple other, here and there type assignments, but those are the main ones. Kenneth Garrett, love that 460. Fondest memories revolve around meeting Rachel. Be careful saying those kind of things if my wife is in here. Rachel's his third love after the M1A in the 1911. Yeah, well, there might be a couple other ones in there. Rachel in khakis. Scott Person, if you go to the site like Buds, they have an entire selection of left-handed lever guns. Really? Okay. I didn't know that. But looks like things are slowing down a little bit over here. What are we up to? About a half an hour. And I'll probably run this for about an hour, same as we usually go. So about another 28 minutes here or so. So questions, comments, remarks, whatever you guys want to throw in there, be sure to do that. Upcoming things on the channel. I mentioned a little while ago that I've got a pretty good video coming up this Saturday that is going to be on a classic handgun. I think you guys are going to like that. If you didn't see the video that I put out today on the virtual shot system, I think that's kind of an interesting system. I think it's got a lot of potential. I think it needs some fine tuning and a little bit of development yet, but overall not bad. The video from last weekend with comparing the traditional handgun to the braced handgun, I think is one of the best ones that I've ever produced with the recording and editing that I've got in there. So if you didn't see that, go back and take a look at it and see what you think. And as always, be sure to let me know what you think in the comment section whenever you watch one of the videos. And I saw somebody down there is asking for tonight's non-firing replica, and I think it's time. This is a non-firing replica of the smallest factory version of the Smith & Wesson Model 39 design. This is a non-firing replica of the Chief Special, aka the Smith & Wesson CS9 9mm pistol, which is a third generation Smith & Wesson. This is a great pistol. It's one that even after all these years, I purchased this non-firing replica in 1999, and I still have it because it is such a good little firearm that I absolutely can't part with it. So that is tonight's non-firing replica, and it is a good one. And okay, coming back over here, Sammy Boy's talking about the left-handed lever guns. Travis Chapin, M1 carbine is a great home defense piece. M1 carbine is great for a lot of things. What a tremendously handy little firearm that is. ZP, sorry to put you on the spot about the memory from your time in the service. I guess that was a bit of a strange. It's not strange. I don't mind it. I'm not upset or anything like that. I just drawing a blank, trying to go back over 4 years to pick out, a particular memory. There's so much that you experience in such a short period of time in the military, with traveling and meeting new people and doing new things. I think probably one of the best memories I have, and this just came to me, was when I was in Korea. I had a chance to go to a rappelling course that was actually put on by the Army. There was a tiny Army detachment that was on Jeju-do Island off the coast of South Korea. And Jeju-do Island is a volcanic island that is just floating around off the coast of South Korea, like I said. It's sort of the Korean equivalent to Hawaii. And I flew down there. This was the summer of 1988. Flew down there to go to this rappelling school. They put us on a bus and we went completely to the other side of the island. And on the other side of the island, the south side of Jeju-do, is really nothing but Korean military installations and a few small fishing villages and things like that. And we went out to this, there was a particular cliff that looked out over the sea. And we were rappelling down this cliff. And I just remember what a fabulous view that was, looking out over, I think it was the North China Sea, rappelling down that. And it was Australian rappel. So when you rappel, you're going face down, with the idea that in the military, if you need to put fire on a target below, you've got one hand to control your rope as you're rappelling down, and the other hand with a weapon that you can fire. So that was just a lot of fun. It was a beautiful, beautiful island. I went out one day on a bicycle that I was able to check out from the tiny little installation that we were on. And I rode it way off out into the countryside of Jeju-do Island. And I saw this place. I pulled into a parking lot and I saw all these people going up this trail into the side of a mountain. And I thought, wow, I wonder what's up there. So I got off the bicycle and I wandered up the trail. And at the top of the trail was this cave. And I went back into the cave. And at the back of the cave was this giant statue of Buddha. And all the people were going in there to put like offerings at the bottom of the Buddha statue. And it was very cool. And I felt kind of out of place because obviously I'm not Buddhist. But, nobody looked at me strange. Nobody said, hey, get out of here or anything like that. They were all very polite. And, it's one of those things that there's no other way I could have ever experienced that than to be in the Marine Corps and go to that little rappelling school. So to finish the story, I go back out, I jump on my bicycle, and I'm riding back. And I was several miles from our little installation where we were staying. So I'm riding my bicycle back, and this was an ancient bicycle. This was probably something from the 1950s, and the pedal fell off. So I got a bicycle with one pedal that I'm trying to pedal miles back to this installation that I was staying on. And on Jeju-do Island and throughout South Korea at the time, they had these motorized, I'm going to call it a motorized rototiller because I don't know what else to call it. They would ride these things like riding lawnmowers or something like that, but they weren't mowers. They had this tilling apparatus on the back for working the ground or whatever in the rice paddies. So one of the farmers rides by my broken bicycle on that thing, and I grab the back of it and I'm holding on to it because he was going the direction I wanted to go. So he's towing me down the road and he didn't know it. He's riding along on this thing and he looks back and he does a double take like, what the hell is this guy doing? And I just kind of waved at him back there and he sort of waved and just kept on going. He towed me most of the way back to the base, which I appreciated because otherwise it would have been a long way to try to pedal with just one pedal on my bicycle. But that is one memory that comes up from my time that I was in the Marine Corps. And now I have no idea where I am over here in the comments. Will I am as a Marine in the Gulf War, where Kuwait on pre-PO merchant ships delivering military hardware. If you're asking me if I was doing that, no, I was not. Like I said, during the Gulf War, during Desert Storm, I was at New River Air Station in North Carolina. Nathan Huxtable lived near Fort Drum. Remember some Marines stopped in for joint training in February. Some of those guys aren't built for -20 and high winds. Now, Marines tend to do better, I think, in hot weather. Rabbi, I think a thick mustache was a legal requirement to purchase that replica. Any recommendations for a good multi-gun safe? I am not a safe expert, so I hate to make recommendations. I mean, I've got this one back here, which is I think this is a U.S. safe company. The one over next to me here is a Fort Knox. They're both very good safes. So, I can say something for them, but I can't really say that anything else out there is better or worse or anything because like I said, I'm just not a safe expert. David Yorger, I think Donald Pleasance used that gun on Michael Myers in Halloween 4. Is that right? I'll have to go back and watch that. I didn't know it. Jeff Beeson likes Liberty safes. Okay. And Rabbi H.R. Funk's dirty secret, he was a coastie. No, I wasn't. Not that I have anything against folks that were in the Coast Guard. Rabbi ran into a monk sitting in the darkness who told me my future by shaking a can of sticks. If I'd have run into a monk, he'd have probably been shaking a can of beer and would have shared it. Katie Cowboy is here. Late to have my wife repairing the toy. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you got that taken care of. Sammy Boy, very special moment, strange feeling. Yeah, it was a strange feeling. Creative tradesman, are you able to talk about your new job at all? I think I can talk about it some. I'm doing armed security for a private firm up in the Cleveland area. We do security for a particular clientele, and we man a lot of different facilities. We are primarily there. Essentially, these days, this is going to sound weird, but really, I'm a hired gun. I am there in case anybody comes in to do something like we've seen in some of these horrific instances with the Independence Day situation, the mall in Indiana, some of the others that we've seen. I am there to prevent that. So that's what my main mission is in life these days. And like I said, I'm doing that for this firm in the Cleveland area. So that's what I can tell you about my job. Duct tape pilot, dark and stormy in the night. If you know, you know. And again, I called this that because I think it's getting ready to storm outside here. It's been hot all day and windy. It's been getting dark, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a storm before the night's over. Chris Peterson, when you retire, will you stay there? I don't know. If my wife has her way, we'll be back in South Carolina, so we'll have to see. Amuck 93, hi from Lincoln, Nebraska. Hi to you. Walking trails, wish I had my K-frame. And I can understand that. ZP sounds like a breathtaking view from the Korean island. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Yeah, like I said, that was one that comes to mind. I finally met somebody a couple of years ago. I met another person who had been to Jeju Island. And so far, that's the only person I've ever talked to who's been there. Now, obviously, other Americans have been there. There were other Americans when I was there, but I have a feeling that we are in the minority as far as Americans who have visited Jeju. Shane A. Baker, is everyone following the crap show that is HR 1808? If you are, I hope you contacted your reps. Give me a little bit more on that. I don't recognize it by the bill number. So what is that specifically? Peter Angles, Coasties have attractive women. That's like the Air Force. The best looking women are always in the Air Force. I remember that when I was in the Marine Corps. And they avoid Marines like the plague, let me tell you. Hebe's 405, are you going to Camp Perry this year? No, I probably will not make it there this year. Between some things that are going on with my family and work and everything else. I just have a feeling I'm not going to make it there this year. One pedal bikes not so magnificent. No, they're not. Daryl Walton, when I went to Korea in '87 for Team Spirit, we called those things kimchi cat. Yes, we called them the same thing. In fact, I almost said that when I was telling the story, but I didn't. Will I am, you're a typical Marine, loose bike pedal, hitches a ride. The term is ADAP. Rabbi, when I was 13, our neighbor was an officer in the Coast Guard, accused me of having an affair with his wife. I was all, what? Do you think I got a shot? Oh my. ZP's glad I hitched a ride. So am I. I'd probably still be trying to pedal that thing with one foot or one pedal if I didn't. Nathan Huxtable, they have those rototiller vehicles in Germany. I didn't know that. David Yorgard, I know you did a great review on the TZOS 1911 recently. I got a TZOS B380. It's a Breda 84 clone. It's really great. If it's anything like the 1911, I believe it. Seems like they're making really good handguns there. Mark Nagel, I like your painting videos. Are you thinking of painting any other firearm? Painting? Oh, you're talking about the Duracoat videos. I've had one that my wife's been wanting me to do one for her forever, and I haven't gotten it done yet. So I'll probably get in trouble for that if I don't do it pretty soon. If I do, I'll probably take video of that and let you all see it. Katie Cowboy, were you ever in Clark Air Base in the Philippines? No, I was not. I never made it down to the Philippines. I knew some guys that went down there on a deployment, but I never made it there. Oh, that's the post-assault weapons ban that they're bandying about. Okay. It's hardly unexpected. I can tell you that. Who knows what'll come out of it. Hebe's 405, what's on your radar for the next rifle purchase? I have had a pistol caliber carbine that I've wanted to purchase for a long time now, and I have not been able to find it. It's purportedly still made by the manufacturer. In fact, I called the manufacturer and asked them if they were still producing this thing, and they told me they are. So I don't want to let any cats out of the bag to tell you exactly what it is, but if I find one, you'll see it. And I've been looking for this thing now for about a year. John Diss says, hello, I hope you're doing well. I am. I hope you're doing well also, John. Stryborg? No, not a Stryborg. And let me go back up through here, see if I missed any comments. Peter Angles, Coasties have attractive women and good dining facilities. Again, sounds a lot like the Air Force. I'll bet it's a high point carbine in 380. Okay, you guessed it. You got it. In fact, I saw a high point carbine the other day, and every time I see one of those things, I think, why are these popular? I did also see a new CMMG 10 millimeter AR variant, so I wouldn't mind trying to get a hold of that thing and doing a review on it, but we'll see. Will I am is AMP and the services trained the same? I don't know what's being done these days. There was a lot of our training, and they sent Marines to the Air Force school at that time, the Air Force Security Police School. We had our own training specifically for MPs or for Marines rather, and then we went to the law enforcement school at the Air Force training. And it was very, very similar to what I went through a few years later when I attended the civilian police academy. In fact, there were some of the training films and things like that that were identical to what I watched when I went through the Air Force training school. So it was very, very similar to civilian law enforcement training. Of course, there are some things in the military that are a little bit different. Military law is different somewhat, but overall, a lot of the general ideas are the same, and the training was very much similar. So Marine Corps and the Air Force were very similar at that time. The Army, I think, was doing mostly field MP work at that time. So that was, security work and prisoner of war and things like that. The Navy, I'm not sure, what they were doing law enforcement wise back in those days, or what they're doing now. Same with the Coast Guard. I'm not sure, how they line up with regard to all that. But with the Marine Corps back in those days, when I was working on the Marine Corps installations, it was essentially just like working, you know, as a civilian police officer, in a small city somewhere. Travis Chapin, if you could keep only one gun, what would it be? I have no idea, and I would not want to make that decision. Sammy Boy, what's your favorite beer? Not to change the subject. See, it's hard for me to name a favorite beer because I change the beer I drink depending on the time of year. In the summertime, like right now, I like light lagers and I like IPAs when it's hot, just that light, refreshing, cold beer. Um, Late summer, early fall, I love the Oktoberfest beers. I look forward to those every year, and we're getting close. We've got about another month or so till the Oktoberfest beers arrive, and I can't wait. Love those. When it gets colder out, I like the porters and the stouts, the heavy beers that I guess in my mind anyway, kind of help keep you warm. And then when spring comes around, then I start to gravitate more back toward the lagers. So it just all depends on what time of year it is, what the temperature is like, and all that. But I like a lot of different kinds of beer. Rich Powers, Marlin Camp carbine. No, and I wish I would have bought one of those years ago. My police department actually had those for a period of time, and we traded those on ARs back circa 2007 or so. And when we did that, officers had a chance to buy the Camp Nines for something like $125. And I passed on them at the time. And I've been kicking myself since then because I really would like to have one. And let's see, where are we here? Shane A. Baker, wait a second. Chris Peterson, do you plan on buying a Harley Davidson? No, I would kill myself on a motorcycle. Shane A. Baker apparently talking about the High Point carbines, says they're popular because they're cheap and make good bludgeoning tools. I can't argue with that. John Dish, you missed the non-firing replica tonight. It was a non-firing replica of a Smith & Wesson CS9. Peter Angles, HR Funk hasn't been charged under the UCMJ. No, fortunately, I was never charged with anything. Mark Naval was in the Air Force from 77 to 81. We had a Marine in our lineman school. Okay. Yeah, and the Marine Corps does that. There was a lot of specialized training like that the Marine Corps doesn't have schools for or specialized training, so they will send Marines to training at other, with other branches of the service. Jeff Beeson is leaving us, so good evening to you. Shane A. Baker would apparently keep his Generation 3 Glock 19. All right. Nathan Huxtable gives Sam Adams Ports Rocker a try. All right. If I see it, I'll give it a try. I like the Sam Adams Boston Lager, so I'll give that a try. Glock is a dirty word here. Will I am back then, did NCIS have an investigative jurisdiction over the Corps like it does in Navy? Actually, it was NIS back in those days, Naval Investigative Service. And yes, they did. They were sort of like our, we had military police, for street type crimes, things like that. And then the military police had MPIs, which were military police investigators. Those were our detectives. And then for the really major crimes, we had NIS for, homicides or major thefts or anything like that. And I had a good friend who was an NIS agent when I was in Japan. And he was somebody, in fact, his brother is one of the people that comments on the videos now, and I always kind of hoped that I would hear from his brother, that he might chime in sometime. But so far, I've not heard from him. But yeah, the NIS, like I said, precursor to NCIS, was our investigative unit for major crimes. Katie Cowboy, any thoughts on the M250 versus the M249? Not really. I don't know enough about it yet to make any kind of an intelligent comment. Shiner Blonde is a great summer beer. I need to try that. I really like the Shiner Bock. And last year, I think Shiner came out with an Oktoberfest that I really, really liked. So I probably need to try the blonde sometime. It seems like they make really good beers down there. And I've got somebody knocking on the door. Hold on. All right, folks, I hate to run, but I have something that just came up, so I'm going to have to deal with that, and we will do this again sometime. Thank you to everyone for joining in this evening. I appreciate it, as always. Thanks for watching the video. I tell people this all the time. I have the best viewers on YouTube, and that includes all of you. So thank you very much. Have a great evening, everyone. Oh, and by the way, we're closing in on 50,000 subscribers, so I got about 500 to go. If you have anybody out there that you think might be interested, have them check out a video or two, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up some more subscribers and hit that 50,000 mark pretty soon. You all have a great, great evening, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.